To a successful day of Califaux.
It's a successful day of Califaux. Hey guys, so we just got back from our first day of Califaux. We did Henchmen Hardcore. We got some interesting results. How about before, let's talk about what we brought. So I'll go first. So my list consisted of Amanozako, Hungering Darkness, a Shadow Effigy, and an Illuminated. And it was a very janky list now that I look back on it now. Can we see that? Now, Casey, what did you bring, man?
So, I brought, led by Joss, and of course taking Howard Langston, Misstep.
Mm-hmm.
Then, to pad out the list, we had the Arcane Effigy and the Mobile Toolkit. So...
Yeah, you changed it last minute because you were going to go with Captain initially. And then,
Well, yes, when we were doing our practice games, which they'll see, I had the Captain, Misstep, and 2 Metal Gaiman.
Yeah.
So this frees up 1 point. I had Seize the Day on Joss.
Was it... Okay, we'll talk more about their games, but
yeah.
Those are pretty much our lists. So, our first matches. My first match was against... It was gross. Really gross. It had a Nikima with a Hungering Darkness, a Depleted, and the Puke Snake. Also, Primordial Magic. And I got wrecked. Pretty bad. Turn 1, I advanced forward with Amanozako. I was like, oh yeah, she has severe terrain, that'd be good. And oh, she can take a few hits from Nikima. No, charging with melee expert. she killed Amanozako in 1 round of combat. Oh, she just eats face. And then after that, it just became a cascading effect. I lost Amanozako, then I lost my Illuminated the following turn. And then after that, it was just downhill. I lost 2-7. So yeah, it was painful. How about your game 1, Casey?
So the first one is led by Candy with Teddy and 2 Terratots. So as you might... So, I could tell that she had some experience with Neverborn, but not a whole lot with this, and I don't think she'd played against Howard Langston before, or for that matter, Joss, because, like, this is what went wrong for her, is Teddy did a walk to get close enough to do the, I can't remember what it's called, his zero action where, well, Peekaboo is the trigger, but he casts a zero action where it pushes into base contact with the target. Well, she pushes in with Joss, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll allow that, because it gets positive flips for the rest of the turn, positive to attack and damage. Well, it's 1 attack coming at Joss. He'll
probably be able to weather it.
I had a high card in my hand, and so...
No upgrades on Teddy, though, right? No.
No. The only upgrade was Candy's unique one, Best Behavior.
Oh, so, I mean, yeah, because, like, what, his damage spread's like 3, 4, 6?
Like, and that's another. If she had swapped out Best Behavior for Retribution's Eye on Teddy, that, like, we saw in that...
beforehand, we did a...
we saw in that Enforcer Brawl... Teddy with Retribution's Eye just will rip through stuff.
You'll wreck face.
So I ended up getting, she does 3 damage, 2 armor to 1. I spend a Soul Stone to negate it so that she doesn't use Peekaboo on me.
Yeah.
So that I get to stay where I am. So I didn't even take damage from that attack.
Yeah.
Then Howard
Teddy
Langston
is really interesting. It's just that after the first strike, he goes down like a sack of bricks.
Well, and that's the thing. That's what I saw, is that she shouldn't have pushed him so far forward when he only had 1 attack. She was clearly had Assassinate, and that's actually a good idea, because it's so hard to prevent Turf War from getting your opponent getting points, that Assassinate's the only way to get ahead. If you can Assassinate and not get assassinated. So, for example, in that one, I killed Teddy with Howard, just like, okay, he got him down to 2 wounds, Joss activates, axes him in the face, moves forward, we both score a point. Now this is where things went sideways for me, like, because we tied that game. I moved Joss had to walk because there was a Pterotot around a corner. Because Turf War, you can be around a corner within 6.
Well, because we made that we're so used to gaining grounds.
So we were basically playing almost like
because I did that too. I was very similar to like okay, I need to we have to have most models, and it's
no, you just need 2, and she still had her Pterotots. But this is how turn 2, Joss 3 wounds to Pterotot, it's still standing. Howard Langston managed to miss the Pterotot both times because she their defense 6.
Yeah.
So and she just had higher cards to cheat than me. So she cheated the red Joker one time to miss. I cheated the 12. She cheats in the red Joker.
There's nothing you can do about that point.
And so both Pterotots are alive. We both score a point. Nobody has Assassinate.
Oh my God.
And that's where we had to end the game.
Yeah, and also how the rounds work. They were only 30 minutes. So, I like my first game. I just got whomped. So the guy got pretty much max points. He got 7 to my 2.
Okay.
And wait, how did we get 7?
4 from the scheme, 3 from the strategy, or 4 from the strategy, 3 from the scheme.
Oh, you're right.
You can score 4 points off Turf War,
right.
And you're scoring on turn 1 because it's hardcore Turf War.
It's been a long day.
Yeah. So
tomorrow's gonna be even a longer day. Well,
round 2.
Round 2. Round 2. So my opponent was actually a very fun list to play against. It was Old Manger, 2 Piglets, and Gracie. That's the game that we ended in tie. So pretty much how it went was turn 1, he advanced, he was, because I'm not sure if people are acquainted with gremlins and pigs, they're usually relatively low willpower. They're the pigs were willpower 3.
Okay.
Yeah, so charging a, Ominozako, because I had Ominozako, Terrifying 13. Hungering, Terrifying 12. I almost killed Gracie though.
You only have one model that's not terrifying.
Yeah, and like some hindsight, I look back at my list. It was so janky because I was talking like if you guys ever watched the Henchmen Hardcore, which should be released. No, it's gonna be after this one. It was my whole strategy was to throw Ominozako forward and have Hungering Darkness heed my voice to force to attack and become paralyzed. Yeah. But it's very interesting to do, but it requires so much stuff to be in place.
Right, and especially you didn't get to play them, but there was somebody there playing an Icy Heart list.
Yeah.
And if you had come up against that, your big trick that you spent so many points on would have been kind of...
Yeah, but overall, Ominozako was still a beater.
Yeah.
The severe terrain helped out, too. I almost killed the pig.
Dangerous.
Dangerous. Oh, dangerous and severe, yeah. And I almost killed the pig. It made him, want to run away from Ominozako. So pretty much how it ended with, I didn't lose anything, he lost... Gracie. Or no, he didn't. Actually, neither side lost anything. It was literally we tied. We each scored 3 points.
Okay.
It was done. But it was. But the thing about it wasn't a boring game. It was more. It was very position oriented. We knew each other's ranges. I learned a lot about Ulix. Old Manger. One thing that kept me from wanting to expend my cards is. Old Manger has an ability. If you have no cards in hand, he gains reactivate. And Gracie
has none, right?
And Gracie apparently she has some. Don't quote me on this, but I think she has some ability to give her reactivate, and he gave her reactivate. So I ended up having to heed my voice to push her out of charge range of my guy.
Okay,
yeah.
So gives her reactivate, and then you have to push her, get her out of the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a very position-oriented game. It wasn't as killy as that scenario is supposed to be. It's supposed to be literally just slaughtering each other. That was my game, but it was a lot of fun. I really did like it. Yeah. So now your second game, Casey.
Second.
I didn't get a chance to take a look at it, so I'm curious.
Yeah, okay, now I gotta remember. Okay, that was the one. He had the judge leading 2 Death Marshals and a, what's Sonya's minions? They're the Fanatics.
Oh, Witchling Stalkers?
Witchling Stalkers. So he had a Witchling Stalker, 2, and now that I think about it, I don't remember him having any upgrades, which that's 6, 12... That's 17 points. I think he was 3 stones shy, unless he had upgrades that I didn't know about.
So he had 2 Witchling Stalkers.
No, 1 Witchling Stalker and 2 Death Marshals. Death Marshals come out to 12, the Witchling Stalkers 5 more, 17. So he had 17 points plus the judge.
So yeah, you could have. Oh man, Ostringers aren't as good in Turf War because you don't want to sit in behind terrain and just start.
No, they're really good because
if you deploy
if you took out the Witchling Stalker for that, let's see, there's 7 I think. You deploy them behind them, and their eagle at 12 inches is not projectile. If they focus and make the range 24, then it's projectile.
Okay.
But so they can do right into close combat and snipe people. So imagine if the judge charges somebody, brings them to just a couple wounds left, an Austringer could finish them off.
Oh wow.
That's actually my 3rd battle. We'll get into attacks without the projectile. But so the judge is a range of 10. So even if with both of us deployed on the very edge, we were just at 12 inches away, so he couldn't shoot me. So he activated everything else first. I activated everything but Joss first. I killed the Death Marshal because Misstep can't not kill somebody.
This is scary. She's scary in this. Like really, I think in scariness, I'm thinking maybe Nikima might be a little more scarier.
Yes, just because Melee Expert is more reliable than Flirt.
And then also that upgrade. What was the upgrade? The one that does like 3 damage.
They put the
Yeah. Which
Fear's Given Form.
By the way, guys, at the tournament, guess who got 1st and 2nd place? Both lists that had Nikima.
Neverborn Nikima.
Yeah. Freaking hey. It's hard to deal with.
Yeah, and I mean the crazy thing, for some reason I never thought of this. Nikima, and then you lead Hungering Darkness. Cash of 5 to spend on Nikima.
Yep. That's the guy I played first round.
Yeah, so and then, the judge, he does his best to try and lure Joss out, because, like we said, Assassinate is the only way to really get one up on your opponent. But, cheat in high cards to make sure I pass that willpower.
Yeah.
And then that forced the judge forward, which, second turn, a combination of Misstep and Joss just kill the judge. That's the one I won 5-2 because I got Assassinate, and we ran down the clock, and again only 2 rounds got in.
Yeah, see.
Because it's one of those moments. 3rd round, it would have gone down to me scoring, because he managed to box Misstep, so if we got a 3rd, I would have killed that Death Marshal.
Yeah.
And then Misstep would have come out and killed the Witchling Stalker.
That's the interesting thing when we do our battle reports. Like, you guys probably don't see it when we're playing, but we'll record for almost 7 or 8 hours straight.
That's usually Henchmen Hardcore in the...
Yeah, Henchmen Hardcore in a 50 Soulstone game. And the Henchmen Hardcore, whenever we play, we're playing in like the optimal conditions for playing the game, where we have time to look at the board and like, okay, what's this, and then do that. But when you're playing in a tournament, you have to be on your There's times where I'm like, oh shit, I should be looking at this table more. No, but I have only 15 minutes to decide what I gotta do. Yeah. Where we would easily spend 15, maybe even 20 minutes in a turn. Right. Because I mean, it's a different environment where it's more of a casual environment.
Right, and it's also, we will often call a game when there's a clear winner. Yeah. Where in a tournament, every point you can score matters.
And that's why I would never call it or what I would be sure to do is okay, dude, what do you need your points at? I'm going to try to stop you, but I'm gonna just okay, you're gonna attack him. All right, let's do this real quick, because I would really hate to ruin somebody's score because of slow play. Because I've heard some tournaments where people do that on purpose just to I'm losing, so I'm gonna try to make sure to take away as many points as possible.
I mean, it's not just out of spite. It's also a strategy, because if they have less points, that puts you at a point where you could catch up better in your next games. Yeah.
But then there's sport.
And that gets that whole sort of meta level. So I think round 3.
Yeah, let's go to round 3. Round 3. So this was another really fun opponent. It feels like, because I was mostly at the bottom tables. Second, so I ended in a draw. This opponent was a guild player, and what he had was it wasn't the one who played. He had Francisco with a Pistolero, Santiago, and a brutal effigy. So how the brutal effigy. So the game started off with first thing, brutal effigy and Francisco. All right, then I activate.
Fear not the sword.
Fear not the sword, which is like if he damages something, he gains. He gets one hit point back. So what I ended up doing was he moves his effigy in the corner somewhere out of line of sight. I activate Amonozaka. I make a beeline, and I put boils out.
Okay. Do you get to the effigy or?
No, I didn't get to the effigy.
Okay.
I made a beeline for his crew. Like it was Santiago.
Right. So did you manage to get in all three?
Yes.
And boils.
And boils. So it didn't do as much damage as I hoped. So he activates Francisco. Francisco moves. He does this weird teleport thing where he teleports in base contact with me.
Yeah, and pushes everything else out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He teleported in, but they were still in my because there was a bunch of terrain surrounding them, so they bump into the terrain, so they were still in. But I think he was just doing it because he wanted to attack Amonozako. He attacks. He does like 2 or 3 damage. What ended up happening was fantastic afterwards. I activate Hungering Darkness, and I look at his 1 actions. I forgot that he passed his Terror Duel, so I couldn't make him attack Amonozako and fail.
Okay, right, you'd already passed one.
So what I did was I did his 1 action to teleport. I had him teleport all the way in the back into my Illuminated.
Okay, and then he gets to make the attack as part of that.
Yep. And then I put him there, and I think what was my second? Oh, because I had to move him forward to be able to heed my voice on him.
Okay.
So then he was done. So next turn I hit Illuminated. I get the Flay Trigger off. I cheat severe damage. I get him down, and then I have the Shadow. He was in combat with the Shadow effigy. I stab him twice for 1 damage. And then this is turn. It ends on turn 2. And turn 2, Amonozako kills a Pistolero with her severe terrain, and I get Santiago down to 4. And what ends up happening is I stab him 2 more times. I miss because he does this because he activated ahead of me. So he did his stupid.
The finesse.
The finesse.
And that gives you a penalty or him a boost?
It gives me a penalty. I think.
Right. It's kind of like Southern Hospitality that way.
Which apparently the interesting thing was I chart casting actions. It doesn't work on.
It's better because it's only melee attacks.
Yep.
Shooting and casting.
So Hungering Darkness charges in. And he's like, "Oh, negative." They're like, "No, man, this is a catch." He's like, "Oh no!" I hit him. I get him down to 1. I was like, "Okay, I got this. I'm gonna get him." I hit him again. I drop a red joker to ensure I get the hit. And he's like, "Oh man, like I can't." He soulstone. He's like, well, I have to try for soulstone for 50%. He soulstones to prevent, flips a red joker, and I was like, oh no! And he was like, we were like, I was ecstatic for it because like I was like, oh damn it! And he ends up using Santiago, and shoots Hungering Darkness, and he uses a trigger where he gets more attacks.
Okay.
And Hungering Darkness is only defense 3.
Right, and the incorporeal only goes so far when they're throwing a lot of.
Well, but the thing about it is he was down to 4 hit points, so he does something where it's kind of like in a
whatever it was.
Yeah,
when he gets
below half. Literally he got him down to 1 hit point, and I had to soulstone to prevent to stop the damage, and the attacks ended, and that's when the game ended. Really good, really fun. It was another draw. We both had very relatively. I think his list was probably less janky than mine, but I never paralyzed a single thing. All 3 games.
Really?
Not a single thing, because I get wiped, and the next one we were all positioning, and we ended on turn 2 before I could.
Right.
Start paralyzing things. And turn 3, same thing. Positioned. I think I was a little ahead because Francisco was at 1. Santiago was at like 3. I killed his Pistolero. And I didn't lose anything, so I was still in pretty good shape. But yeah, that was my game. It was a lot of fun. Probably my most memorable Henchmen hardcore that day.
Yeah.
Or this today.
Okay.
All right. What about your game too, Casey? I got a little bit.
That's the one that was led by Snowstorm.
Mm-hmm.
He grabbed the Ice Golem, an Ice Gaemon, and a Silent One. So now here's the thing: the silent one has a casting attack that deals damage, and it has no gun. It is not a projectile attack. So it doesn't randomize in combat. It doesn't care about cover. Now, it's not that like overly powerful of an attack. I think like, it's something like 2, 3, 4 with 1 and 2 blasts, or no, 1 and 1 blast. So like, there's no crazy powerful, but it doesn't care about randomizing. They have Ice Mirror. They have Rasputina's standard version, not her special version. So,
okay. Yeah.
So they don't have Shattered Mirror, they have regular Icy Mirror. Casting 6 down to 5 they cast through. And yeah, he used that to good effect. The funny thing, like, in one of the attacks, he cheats to Severe against the Effigy.
Yeah.
Now, but the Effigy's hard to kill kicks in, stays alive. He puts a blast marker on the mobile toolkit. It only has 3 wounds, but the blast marker is 4 damage and it's armor 2. So that's left at 1 wound. And those live the rest of the game because he doesn't hurt them. But so it starts out with Ice Golem and Snowstorm moving up to basically these 2 beefy models who stand on the point. The Ice Gamin, he stands there and does the all Icy Heart get +1 damage. He's support mode.
Yeah.
And actually that's how she did so much damage. Her damage spread is normally pretty low, but he boosts so she does +1 whenever she does damage. Yeah. So suddenly her damage spread is similar to Rasputina.
That's a mean list. Wow, I never thought of like something like that. Ice Golem.
It's got some good stuff going on.
Yeah, jeez.
I'm still not 100% about the Ice Golem. I'd almost rather take Blessed and a 1 point upgrade. 10 points for the Golem, 9 for the Blessed. Like, I lean towards the Blessed. But that would be my list. Snowstorm, Blessed. I don't have the silent ones yet, but they are a good choice. So they move in. Now the thing is, I get Howard up and bring Snowstorm to like 2 or 3 hit points in a go, and it was at 2 attacks, minimum damage 4.
Yeah.
I just Stone to Prevent, pretty rough stuff. But then, but the thing is, Joss was put in a bad position because he didn't rush. Here's one of the weird things: he didn't rush. He didn't rush forward enough. Like a lot of the other people, they moved forward far enough that my stuff was like, okay, So this guy held back a lot more. He kept out of anything other than Misstep's charge. So Joss had to like just kind of wander forward on the first turn.
Sorry, pause. Sorry about that. I had a wife needed help with something real quick.
Yeah. So Joss, the first turn, he just kind of ponders forward to help me get the point too. It was really weird because it was basically his stuff trying to focus down mine. Joss is kind of getting pinged, but his 2 armor really helps.
But Joss is just so...
It made a noise. Okay, so you're saying about Joss?
Yeah, Joss is... Well, we were discussing on the ride back, like, Joss is scary. His damage spread is really nice, 3-3-4, but
and I was wrong. It's 3-4-4.
3-4-4. So it's not huge. Well, okay. Yeah. It's still big damage.
Well, for a 10-point model.
Yeah, and it ignores practically everything.
But that's the big one.
Yeah. No
defensive triggers. Actually, that's the weird. Like, so the next turn, I did manage to go. No, I didn't even go first. Like, but Snowstorm, this is what turned the game. Snowstorm's first attack, boom, hurts him. Hits Misstep. Then Red Joker for damage. It was something like, 9 damage, minus my 1 armor, everything I'd already taken, dead.
Damn.
So, kills Misstep in the first activation, second action point to move backwards. Okay, so now he's out of range, Joss can't get at him for assassinate.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's go after the Ice Golem. Boom. Axe the Ice Golem. I managed to get moderate damage both times. He's only got 10 wounds, so he's got 2 left. all right, even if he slows me and manages to kill the effigy,
Yeah.
I can kill him.
So was that your best game in your opinion of the whole Henchman Hardcore tour?
Like me personally,
Yeah.
or
yeah, I'm just curious.
I don't know.
It seems...
that one was rough. Like he had a really good thing going. Like he had pulled Snowstorm back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Silent Ones have a 0 action to heal Icy Heart models, so she healed him. He flipped low, got 1 healing, but still, the next turn he got 2 more healing. So that one was healing that up.
So do you think he was? That's the thing about with Henchmen Hardcore, especially in a tournament. It's really hard. Like, we had only 30 minutes. Like, and most people, like, there's some players that want to play for the long game. You know what I mean? Like, there's players that, like, I want to get as many points early on as I can.
The thing is, it denied me Assassinate, and, well, here's where it got interesting. So he had to move Snowstorm back, basically, to get back in the circle to score, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to remember exactly what happened, but, you know, Joss is able to kill the Ice Golem. He's at like 2 wounds, but he has hard to kill and his Surge. So if you bring him to hard to kill, he gets reactivated. Well, so he's like, you can tell he's trying to get the Assassinate, but you know everything's just not quite dealing enough to Joss. I'm spinning my soul.
Well, Joss is armor 2, right? Or is he armor 1?
Armor 2.
Armor 2 was Soulstone Prevention.
Right. So I was taking a lot of no damage.
Yeah.
For a little while. But then Snowstorm comes in, and Snowstorm's like, I'm going to attack you. I cheated so you miss.
Mm-hmm.
And he's basically looking, and he's like, alright, I don't attack you. Good game.
Mm-hmm.
And we ended 3-3, because here's the thing. If he had hit Joss, he wouldn't have been able to kill Joss. Joss would reactivate. I'd kill Snowstorm. Snowstorm would explode. Kill Joss. We'd tie anyway.
Oh.
We would have tied 6-6 instead of 3-3.
No way.
Like, or Joss doesn't manage to kill him, and we still tie 3-3. Like, so he just ended it there, which was the smart move.
Yeah. Dang, that seems like a pretty good game.
So yeah, it was kind of good that way with the back and forth. Both of us knew enough about the other guy's list that we couldn't get a huge upper hand. And as usual, you know, Red Joker pops up and, well, he's dead. Yeah.
There's the garage. All right. So we had another distraction. So it was just opening the garage, coming in. So back to the game. So let's just go transition into our overall thoughts. I thought it was really a lot of fun. Henchmen Hardcore. It's really quick. It's fast paced. I think it's for a tournament format though. It's really it really rewards hyper aggressive play. And if you're, let's say you're very defensive, like for me, I'm usually a very hyper aggressive. But even then, like the 30 minutes.
Well, the thing, I think it awards aggressive lists, but to me, there's that problem of there's not always something that can. I don't know. There's not always that exchange of being able to kill, and for example, Teddy running out into my face was probably the worst thing that could have happened on turn 1. Because it ran right into all of my stuff to kill it.
Yeah.
Because it's not that durable. Impossible to wound is nice, but with a minimum damage 4 on missteps. Attack.
Oh yeah, no, she would chop through pretty quick.
Right. 4/4/4. As long as I hit 3 times, it doesn't matter that I can't.
Yeah.
Impossible to wound.
Yeah. Oh, I can't cheat. Oh, sorry, you're taking your 4 damage.
Right. And that's where, like, we talk about Joss and how it's only 3/4/4, but you know most models of his are at least 3/4/5.
Yeah.
Misstep is admittedly a more expensive, less durable model.
13 stones.
4, 5, 6, you know,
Yeah.
and execute on that trigger.
You are paying for her, and I think she's worth every stone for what you get out of her.
Yeah, and like people have said, you know, Joss is interesting with his 2-action pneumatic fist.
Isn't Joss one of the? He's one of the top henchmen for. It was in the UK list I checked out and it talked about like Joss was in like the top 10 as like a henchman. 2
armor, good attacks. Like I don't think I'd ever take his mechanical fist unless I planned on using the choke slam trigger.
Well, yeah, because the mechanical fist is like it's a 2-action. It's big damage. It's really
it's like
big
5,
damage.
8, 10.
Yeah, it's really big damage.
No, but okay. So the big damage is nice because let's face it, the 10 back end damage is more than his axe could do with two severe attacks.
Yes. Yeah.
One severe with the pneumatic fist. It's harder to pull off, no, but for me, one of the big things
Or if you
is
get
that
fast, then focus and then do it.
yeah, if you can actually. I'm trying to think how that would go down.
Try to figure out find a way to imbue energies.
Wait,
Essence of Power is 2, right?
Essence of Power is 3 Soulstone.
Oh, but you already had like 3.
No, what it is? Okay, no, but well, if you're trying to make that work, what it is, you take imbued energies on him. That can give him fast.
Yeah.
There's also the mechanical spider, can give him reactivate. The brass arachnid. So that doesn't work for Henchmen Hardcore, but give him reactivate, activate him, have him focus twice. Activate him, imbue
melee
energy.
6 or melee 7?
I believe it's 6.
Okay. So it's like above average melee.
Yeah. But anyways, the main thing for me is that, let's say I have a high crow, even if I do the 5 damage, the minimum, if I hit somebody with that, and use the choke slam trigger to paralyze them, I've at least paid for myself. And if it's a model I can't kill with the arc axe, and I can't bring it low enough for other stuff to kill or to bother, hell, maybe I think it's his...
Taking out next turn and then gaining another opportunity.
Or what if I think it's the frame for murder target? Boom, you're paralyzed, but not dead.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, that's the point where he cheats low to try and get me to...
Kill
it. Get a high card and, 10 damage.
Dead. Well, even with armor, though,
yeah. But 10 will kill most stuff, even with armor.
So, the 2 winners, as I stated earlier...
First and second place.
We're both Neverborn, and both of them were Nikima, with the upgrade that we talked about, where it's like, you automatically...
Oh, the Fear's Given Form.
Yeah, oh my god. I know a lot of them changed their master. One guy took Barbaros, another guy that I played against, he took Hungering Darkness. And those are mean lists. I think it was the guy that I played made it to the top table, and he lost, and I think he got 3rd place.
Okay.
He got 3rd place.
Who was that?
The guy that we played.
The first one?
You played, not Henchmen Hardcore.
The Enforcer Brawl.
Enforcer Brawl. The one who won our Enforcer Brawl game. But he brought, that Hungering Darkness with the 5 Soulstones. Okay, Nikima Stone, and you throw and that's the thing. You just throw Nikima into the center with as many models as possible. All right, you gotta kill me. All right, I'm just gonna bleed all over you guys.
Ooh, yeah. Black blood, yeah.
Black blood, and then the 3 damage, and it's really hard to deal with. You could bring a shooty list, but why would you bring a shooty list? And I mean, it could be worth it.
Well, there's only, like we were saying, if you're gonna go shooty, you gotta have things like Slamlet ones and Ostringers that can go into melee.
Yeah. But
of course, with Nikima, black blood everywhere.
Yeah. Well, but like the thing about it is, I'm not saying Nikima's overpowered or anything like that. I'm just saying, she in Henchmen Hardcore she's really strong. But in terms of if you're playing like a 50 Soulstone game, you usually, even if it's close deployment, you can usually deploy in a way where you can kind of mitigate her damage, or like make sure like, okay, if she's gonna kill something, it's not going to be something important.
Steve, what about this? I didn't see any Outcast players.
I know, right?
And or anybody, since he is a mercenary, no Killjoys.
Yeah.
It was all Nikima.
Yeah.
As a mercenary, he's the same price as Nikima.
Yeah.
Of course, the real problem is figuring out what henchmen and what backup to send in.
But then to get Killjoy to kill... Oh, you can actually... Well, in theory, you don't have to bury Killjoy. You can literally just put him on the field.
True. You can.
No outcast. And also, guys, got some good news. I was literally the best 10 Thunders. I had the best score of all the 10 Thunder players. I was the only 10 Thunder player. There was like, what was it? Like four Neverborn. There's a total
at least
of
4 Neverborn.
At least 4 Neverborn. And I think the next most popular, there was 1 Gremlin. Only 1 Gremlin. Or was there one? Yeah, only 1 Gremlin. 2 Guilds. Did I say Arcanist yet?
At least 2 Arcanists.
At least 2 Arcanists.
Okay. 4, 2, 2, and then the 2 1s.
And there's some other ones.
Still a few down.
I didn't get to meet everyone that played.
Yeah.
And so my goal for the tournament, keep to this, guys, is to try to be the best 10th Thunder player at Califaux. Crossing my fingers. I think we get everything. Pretty much everything is just us rambling on about Malifaux stuff, which is probably already is. But actually, we're not going to be recording in here next time. I actually talked to the owner, and he has this really cool back room, and we're going to go recording there. So this is going to be a transition. We will see you guys in about 2 seconds. For us, it'll be tomorrow. But we'll see you guys 2 seconds for our day 1 of Califaux. And you think we look tired now? Wait till you see us tomorrow. We're going to be run ragged. It's going to be fun. All right, guys. See you later.